Oh, hello. All right, okay. Jesus. That's why. Hi everyone, today I want to go over a few different exercises that kind of allow you to break out of the typical pentatonic boxes when you've learnt them, because I see so many people kind of getting stuck in the kind of boxes and not really knowing what to do with the shapes. So today I'm just going to go over some exercises, and then in future I'm going to do a video on kind of more how to apply the pentatonic scale, the minor pentatonic scale, in different ways over minor changes and over blues changes and things like that. Yes, when I'm teaching pentatonics during lessons, as soon as they've learnt the initial patterns, I try to get the kind of muscle memory away from just playing that typical kind of... And that's great and everything, but it's not really a way in that kind of straight ahead way of playing it that you're going to be able to apply it in a kind of musical way. And that's what these exercises are about. It's kind of a way just to build up the muscle memory, just to make it a bit kind of more natural for your fingers to move between the shapes and move through the shapes in a kind of non-linear way, you know? So if you don't know the patterns already, go to my website. I'll put a link and the diagrams are there, and just go through them. Make sure you've got them kind of well established under your fingers, learn them in a bunch of different keys, move them around, just get used to playing all those patterns on different parts of the fretboard, different keys. So initially, when you got the patterns kind of down, I would say the first thing you want to do is not play from the bottom. So we all know when you first learn the patterns, you just start from the bottom and go back down, and so on and so forth. So a good way to kind of initially break out of that comfort zone of playing them just straight up and down, you play them from top to bottom and then back to the top. So something like this. I remember when I first started playing them, when I was younger, it felt really unintuitive to kind of play them backwards, because it feels like your reference has kind of disappeared a little bit. And there's a couple of different ways you can kind of use that in an exercise. So say I was to incorporate patterns 1 and 2, I could go up 1. So going up 1 and then coming down 2. So I'm going to the top of the pattern 1. So straight away, you know, I had going into that other shape, into the pattern 2, my point of reference, I kind of have to rethink about where I am on the guitar. So, and you could keep going with it. So I could come down pattern 2, and then up pattern 3, and down pattern 4, and then up pattern 5. And you could keep going if you wanted to. So I'll play that a little bit slower just so you can see what I'm doing there. You know, you could easily do it backwards, so you could go down through the patterns as well. And that's the kind of idea. You kind of want to be out of your comfort zone when you're practicing things like scales, because you don't want to just get, like I said earlier on, bogged down into kind of playing them just in boxes all the time. You want to get away, because you want to be making music with it, essentially. So that's kind of the idea behind just fighting yourself away from the comfort zone a little bit, just to, you know, get some new ideas, you know. So this is another way that you can break out of just playing them in that linear fashion. So we have 2 notes per string, right, in these patterns, right? 1. So all I'm going to do is play the first note of the first line, the first string, and play the second note of the next one, then the first of the next string, the second of the next one, first of the next one, and then second of the next one. Something like this. So kind of playing them diagonally, if you like. And then on the way back, you can play the notes you didn't play. So then again, you're kind of changing your perspective of how you're looking at the scale. You can do that with the others. So if you just get into the habit of doing that, rather than just kind of playing them straight for all the notes, it can be a great way to kind of break up those patterns. And I will say that you kind of want to be practicing these to a metronome. So not initially when you're kind of working the patterns out, but later on, certainly when you kind of want to be applying them to different rhythms and things. So if I get my metronome going just now, so you know you can play them straight. And then you might want to play it in triplets. Just to kind of get yourself out of the comfort zone. And the thing is with the metronome, it's just relentless. So it's always going to put you under pressure, and it's just an amazing way to kind of just measure your progress, essentially. So that was at 80, but you know, you could try it at something like 85 or 90, and it might feel a bit too much and a bit too fast. So then you can kind of bring it down and then work your way slowly up to kind of higher BPMs and get more comfortable with it that way. So yeah, you want to be playing them in a bunch of different rhythms, just again, another way of kind of forcing yourself out of the comfort zone and getting used to playing them in different ways. Because again, if you just sat down, just playing through the pattern, there's no way to really apply that to music at all unless you have some kind of rhythm to it, you know. So this next one is if you really have the patterns kind of established in your head. And this is a great way to learn to get between all of the patterns. So all it is just playing 3 notes of the pentatonic from each string and going up 1 pattern each time. So if I start it off in G minor, it's something like this. So you're just playing 3 notes along the bottom string, basically going straight into pattern 2. So the bottom of pattern 2 like this. So pattern 1 of G minor pentatonic would look like this. And pattern 2. And then all I'm doing is playing the bottom 3 notes of those collective shapes, you know. And then I'm going to stay in pattern 2 and then play 3 notes from that string going into pattern 3. Like that. And then again, we go up 1 string and then play 3 notes again going into pattern 4. And then again, up 1 string into pattern 5. And then again, up 1 string into pattern 1. And then the last one. So I've played 3 notes, moved up 1 shape each time. And then you can play it backwards. And again. So then what I like to do is start from pattern 2, but going from the same fret. That way we're kind of using all of the guitar. So pattern 2, starting from this G note, would be E minor pentatonic. So I know this might get a bit confusing for some, but essentially, you know, if you've got E minor pattern 1 here, you know, we're just playing pattern 2. So I'm just doing the same thing. I'm going to play 3 notes, going from pattern 2 into pattern 3, going up 1 string, and then going up into the next pattern. Okay, so there's the first part. So I've just gone from pattern 2, pattern 3, and into pattern 4, going up one string each time, 3 notes on each string. So I've done exactly the same thing as I did with the G minor. I've just gone up one pattern each time. I've played 3 notes, go up one string, and again into the next pattern. And then again, you can do the same thing again. You can reverse it. I'll play it nice and slow. So the next one we do is pattern 3, just starting from this part of the fretboard. Same note, we're going to start from G, starting at the bottom of pattern 3. So this one would be pattern 3 of D minor pentatonic. So I'll just play pattern 3. I'm just going to play it from the bottom right to the top. And then going from the top backwards. So the next one would be pattern 4. So this one would be in C minor. So here's pattern 4 of C minor. So this one starts from pattern 4 and goes straight into pattern 5. And I'll just play through the whole thing. And then on to the last one. So pattern 5, this one should be pretty easy because it's in A minor. So pattern 5 of A minor pentatonic. And then back again. And just to clarify, I don't think you should really be thinking about the theory of these patterns during these exercises because it's more just for the muscle memory and kind of getting your fingers to act a little bit more spontaneously when you're playing things. Very often, something will come out in my playing. I don't even know where it's come from, like quite a lot of my playing actually. And it's mostly because of, just approaching scales from every different kind of perspective that I can think of to kind of just fool my fingers into almost just not thinking about what I'm playing, really. So yeah, I hope you got a lot out of that, and I really hope that helps you kind of break out of those pentatonic boxes and get a little bit more creative. I'll probably do some more videos on the pentatonics because as guitarists, we kind of use it to apply playing to a lot of different styles of music, and it's kind of like our skeleton of music theory when we're kind of playing with other musicians. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.